G'day, I'm Paul. It's time for another CarExpert dragparison where we do a bit of a drag race and a performance comparison. Today I thought we'd go with some SUVs, and not like crazy expensive SUVs. These are both at their respective entry levels. We've got the Porsche Macan T and the BMW X3 xDrive 30i, so they're both kind of base models. Both have 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engines. Both of them are all-wheel drive. The Macan uses a dual clutch transmission, whereas the X3 uses a torque converter. Macan pumps out just under 200 kilowatts of power and 400 newton meters of torque. And the X3 is slightly less at 185 kilowatts of power and 350 newton meters of torque. But it is important to note that the X3 is lighter than the Macan, and that Macan right there has about $30,000 of options on it, which should make it a little bit heavier as well. So today we're going to do a drag race, we're going to do a sound comparison, and then I'm going to log some performance numbers with our GPS measurement unit. But let's get started and have a listen to the exhaust of these two. Just before we get into our drag race, let's have a listen to the exhaust notes. So this has the optional sports exhaust. So we'll have a listen first with the sports exhaust off and then sports exhaust on. I've got my colleague James in the car. Fire it up, James. Doesn't sound too bad. All right, crack the exhaust up and let's have a listen. Yeah, it is a lot meatier when that exhaust is open. So let's jump over to the X3 and see what that sounds like. Okay, X3. So this doesn't have a sports exhaust, but we'll do it first in comfort and then sport. Fire it up, James. It's got a little bit of rasp to it. Try sport mode and see if it gets any louder. Much louder, but I actually quite like the exhaust sound. It doesn't sound too bad. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below which one do you reckon sounds better. Let's jump into a drag race and see which is quicker in a straight line. Okay, so it is time for our drag race. I'm going to line up here next to James in the Macan. So yeah, I mentioned before, this doesn't have launch control, that does. And in terms of the official numbers, this is 0.1 of a second slower on paper than the Macan. The Macan is 6.2 seconds, 0 to 100, and this is 6.3. So it should be pretty close. We're gonna go to the 8th mile, and once we're done with this drag race and figured out who the winner is, I'm gonna go through and do individual performance runs in each car so we can see exactly how fast they are against our GPS measurement device. So I'm gonna put this into Sport Plus, and then I'm going to press stability control once I've limited traction. James, are you ready to roll? Okay, Igor, we are ready for our countdown.
3, 2, 1, go!
Ooh, jumped the start a little there. That's just close. He is pulling away though. Oh, I think he's just gonna have this, come on! Oh, I think he just had me there. Ah, that is so annoying. But I also jumped the start. I reckon we're gonna have to do that again. Just a quick one for our adjudicator, Sean, up the back there. Did I jump the start or was James too slow? What happened?
Paul, you're all good. You didn't jump the start. Igor said go when you went, and James took a bit longer.
Is your launch control delayed a little, James?
Yeah, it seemed to take a split second after I lifted off to actually get going. So it may have been me being slow or the car. I'm going to blame the car.
All right, let's try it again. Line up. Okay, take two. So James, I think with his launch control, it takes him a little bit for it to move. I was perfect as usual. We'll see how it goes this time around. I think he's going to try lifting the brake a little earlier there, so we'll see what happens. All right, we are ready for our countdown, Igor.
Okay, in 3, 2, 1, go!
A little jump there again. Oh, it is so close, come on. Oh, he just has me. It's so annoying. Okay, let's try that once more, except James just needs to get off the brake a little bit earlier so we can leave at the exact same time. Okay, third time's a charm. James is definitely going to let off the brake a little earlier this time. So we'll see what happens. So here we go, we'll line up. This is actually performing really well with the torque converter. I'm quite surprised. It would be good if it had launch control, but the torque converter is doing a good job. All right, Igor, we are ready for our countdown.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, that was better. Okay, here we go. Oh, it is still so close. Oh. There is just a car length between us, and I think even when he launches it on time, it is still really, really close. So yeah, the win goes to the Porsche Macan because yes, on paper it is quicker, and I think ultimately because it has launch control, it's actually quicker as well. What if we try it without launch control? I'm just keen to see what happens. Okay guys, so that was pretty close. I reckon let's just do one last run. This time, no launch control for you, James. So you just jump on the throttle, okay? And let's see what happens. Igor, count us in.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, okay. Oh, come on, come on. Oh, damn it, he still has me. Yeah, okay. All right, cross the line. Still a car length, and James has comprehensively beaten me there. So, look, that was good fun. I think we now know that the Macan is quicker, which it was on paper, but yeah, I thought it was going to be heaps quicker than that, so that is not too bad. All right, let's jump into each car individually, and then we'll do some 0 to 100 testing to see how quick they are in a straight line, along with some brake testing as well. Okay, so we're going to kick off with the X3, and I'll start off in comfort mode just so we can see how quick it is without loading it up, and then I'll go into sport mode and see progressively how much quicker it gets. So we're in comfort. I'm just going to mash the throttle and we'll see how we go. We'll go all the way to 120 here as well, so we can get our overtaking speed. Here we go. All right. And there's 120 there. I'll bring this up to a stop. Okie dokie, let's have a little sticky beak here at our numbers and see how well we do. We'll turn the hazard lights off. So 0 to 100, 7.79 seconds, and 80 to 120 in 4.76 seconds. So we've got a benchmark to work with there. We'll see if it gets any quicker when we do put it into sport mode and load the throttle up a bit. Okay, next run here is going to be with sport mode active, and I'll put it in limited stability mode there as well. You can see that little light pop up there. I'm going to load the throttle up a bit. This doesn't have launch control, but it allows me to build the throttle up to about 3,000 RPM, and then I'll just step on it. So we'll see how we go all the way through to 120. Here we go. That's a nice solid start. It accelerates pretty hard. All right, awesome. All the way through to 120. There it is there. Come up to a stop, ignore our speed warning there. Okay, so 0 to 100, 6.49 seconds. So significantly quicker in sport mode with limited stability there. It really gets off the line much faster. Our 80 to 120 is almost the exact same as well. But even at 6.49 seconds, it's still short of the official number of 6.3, so that was interesting. So, all right, let's try doing a brake now, and we'll see how quickly it stops from 100 to 0. Then I'm going to jump in the Porsche, and we'll give that a crack as well. Next up, 100 to 0. I'm going to get this up to 100 k's an hour, just over 100 k's an hour. Slam the brake pedal down, and we'll see how quick it takes to stop compared to the Porsche. That's our marker just there. This seatbelt is trying to strangle me as well. That's awesome. Good bit of safety tech there. We'll kill our hazard lights. Let's have a quick sticky beak here. So 100 to 0 is 2.57 seconds in 35.54 meters. So got some numbers to work with there. We will jump in the Porsche now and do some acceleration figures and also a braking figure as well. I do expect that to stop better because it's got bigger tires. The brakes look bigger as well. So we'll see what happens. Okay, Porsche time. So yes, this does have launch control and all that fun stuff, but we will just start off in the regular driving mode. Using our little switch here, we'll just leave it in normal. I'm just going to mash the throttle. We'll get it up to 120 and have a look at our numbers and see how we go. All right, it's all set up and ready. Here we go. hesitates a little bit, but then it kicks on and moves. Love that little bark from the exhaust as well. All right, there's 120 there. We'll just come to a stop. So 0 to 100, 6.99 seconds. Still not too bad for just comfort mode and just jumping on the throttle. And 80 to 120 was 4.48 seconds. So that's really impressive too. It shows you that mid-range has a fair bit of punch as well, which is nice. All right, let's head back and let's try a little bit of launch control this time. Okay, so actually before we do launch control, let me try sport mode. I'll just see if I just go to like Sport Plus or something. I'll just see if it's any quicker than comfort for just standing on the throttle. So that's engaged the exhaust there. It's also lowered the car a little bit and firmed up the suspension. So, right, let's give this a shot. I'm just going to stand on the throttle. We'll head over to 120 and we'll see what happens. Here we go. It does feel a little bit quicker. Let's see what the numbers say. Yeah, that does feel quicker. All right, let's have a quick sticky beak here at the numbers. 0 to 100, 6.63 seconds. So it's about 0.4 of a second quicker in Sport Plus than Comfort without launch control. And then 80 to 120 was 4.42 seconds, which was almost the exact same, just slightly quicker. So interesting. All right, let's go back and do launch control this time. Okay, let's go for gold here. I'm going to use launch control. I'll be as aggressive as I can with it. So I'll bring it to a stop. I'm going to press the stability control button once to put it into that limited stability mode. To activate launch control, foot hard on the brake, hard on the throttle. It'll come up saying launch control ready, and then I'll just dump the brake and away we go. So here we go. God, it revs right up, doesn't it? Oh, nice little punch in the back. All right. All the way through to 120. That feels significantly quicker. All right, let's have a little sticky beak at the number that we land on there. Nice, so 0 to 100 in 5.86 seconds. That is significantly quicker than the claim time. The claim time is 6.2, so that's not too bad at all. Very impressed with that. And then on our 80 to 120, 4.46 seconds, which is almost identical to our last run as well. So pretty impressive figures there from this for a 2-litre 4-cylinder. And it weighs more than the X3 as well. So nice and hardy numbers. Let's try a 100 to 0 stop to see how quickly this thing pulls up with the big old brakes that it has. Okay, we'll get her up to 100 k's an hour. We're just above, and then I'm going to jam the anchors on. Let's see how quickly we stop. There's 100 there. Whoa. 100 to 0, 2.64 seconds. Oh, this is interesting. And 36.97 meters. Now, if I recall correctly, our results for the X3 were actually 35.54 meters. So the X3 took almost, it's like 1.5 meters shorter to stop. That's quite surprising. I was expecting this to actually pull up much quicker than that. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed that. Up on the screen, you'll see all the performance figures, 1/8 mile, 1/4 mile, and also stopping and accelerating figures as well. Do you want us to do more of these without sort of going too crazy with performance cars? Because we can do more of this with just the standard stuff that a lot of people buy. So let me know in the comments section below. Were you surprised that the Macan won, and do you think it should have won by more? I was actually surprised it didn't stop quicker than the X3. So I know the X3 is lighter slightly, but a pretty meaty set of brakes and it's a Porsche. So anyway, let me know what you thought about the results in the comments section below, and also let me know which other cars you want us to do drag parisons on in the future. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure you like it and you share it with your mates. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. But until next time, take it easy.